Pros and cons of IUL versus FIA.
Welcome to Barry's Bites. Please join our host, attorney and financial advisor Chris Barry.
Fixed index annuities versus index universal life. And understand, these are tools. I don't like to get into tools too much before we talk about goals and strategies. But these are two tools that are becoming more and more popular, especially with the way markets are performing. Probably the big thing with both of these is the fact that they're indexed. So an advantage for both of these is that they're indexed. And what that means is if the market goes down, you stay where you're at. If the market goes up, you collect the upside of the market. And typically it happens on a yearly basis. Both of these make a nice little bond alternative. So it's a good bond alternative where you're getting safety and growth, and you're protecting against market volatility. So both of these protect against market volatility. And you can still get a good amount of growth. Potentially, if we have a growth kind of fixed index annuity, you're typically looking at 6 to 8% on average, but it could be anywhere from 0 to 20% rate of return in any specific year. Index universal life is going to be more just on average between that 6 to 8%, and that's what you would see every year, depending on how the markets are doing. Disadvantages of both of these to a certain extent are liquidity. So this isn't something where you'd want to move money in and then move money out. It has to be part of a plan. Disadvantage of fixed index annuities, I think they're oversold by annuity salesmen. So there's some people that aren't attorneys, they aren't investment advisors, they don't owe you a fiduciary duty. All they do is they sell annuities. I don't think annuities are inherently bad. I just think that there's a lot of bad people that oversell them. Both of these can be used by true fiduciaries as part of a holistic plan, or they could just be sold to you by someone who all they do is they sell these and they just have to make sure it's suitable for you. The big thing with the IUL is that this can give you tax-free income. All that growth is tax-free. And typically the way it's done is pulling money through tax-free loans where it doesn't show up on the tax return whatsoever. It's almost like a Roth alternative. Plus, it can be owned by the trust, unlike a Roth cannot be owned by a trust. Another advantage with the IUL, you can get a death benefit that also doubles as a long-term care benefit, depending on your situation. Downside of IUL can be more complicated. You have to go through underwriting, so you have to be healthy. Advantage with a fixed index annuity, simpler. Also, you can access the income sooner, especially with like drawdown fixed index annuities. Let's say you put in $500,000, you could take out $50,000 a year without any fees or anything like that. Versus IUL, typically you want to wait at least 10 years before you start pulling the income, just because you want this to grow inside of this tax-free bucket. And then just the big thing with IUL is just like, what are you trying to accomplish? The IUL can accomplish a couple different things. It can be tax-free income, could be a death benefit, could be a long-term care. So those would be situations where you'd want to look for the IUL. Do you want tax-free income in retirement? Do you want long-term care benefits? Do you want a death benefit? Fixed index annuity, typically this is, hey, you have these investments and you want safety and growth, or you want income. And those are the two types of fixed index annuities that typically we see. We see safety and growth where we protect your principal. You put in $500,000, you're not losing that. The market goes up, you collect the upside. Or do we want to create an income stream somehow? Typically, we're doing a drawdown strategy where if you put in $500,000, you pull out $50,000 a year, and then whatever growth is just gravy on that. So it makes a nice bridge to Social Security. That's just some of the pros and cons of index universal life and fixed index annuities.